Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's actually been a hot minute since I filmed a video, but I'm back now and I felt like this would be the perfect opportunity to film a video about New Year's resolutions for 2021. I want to talk about the things that I want to focus on next year with regards to myself. As you'll see from these New Year's resolutions, I made these more self-oriented and mindset changing rather than having new experiences, because let's face it, the whole concept of experiences, it depends on what's actually available to us. And since I don't know what's actually going to be possible and what's going to happen in 2021, I feel like let's just focus on my personal development, not necessarily like things that I need to go places and do things for, you know. Let's just make it as attainable as possible. That's what you'll see with these New Year's resolutions, and I'll just talk about my process with them moving forward. Hopefully this gives you guys some inspiration for creating your own resolutions, and I believe that the day I post this will be January 1st, so happy new year. I hope that it goes okay, goes smoothly for you, and I'm putting positive energy in the new universe because I really can't deal with this whole 2020 nonsense, okay? The first resolution that I have is actually to be extremely comfortable with my own company and be more self-reliant in general. And this is something really interesting that I never thought much about. I never thought that I'd ever need this. As you know, I did make a video on self-confidence, and I do think that I'm a very self-confident person right now. However, I realized that that definition of self-confidence was kind of more tied to this version of me who was always having access to these different experiences, to my friends, and being able to hang out and talk to them whenever I can or whenever we're all free. That wasn't the case this year, and I realized that there would be periods where I wouldn't talk to people for like 2 weeks, and then I'd go into this downward spiral of just thinking about how lonely I am and becoming very insecure with my relationships and my friendships, which honestly are quite strong, and I have not felt insecure about my friendships since freshman year of college, so it was a very weird experience to me. So I would love to get to a point where I am satisfied with being by myself, and that's enough for me to just get on with my life, because really I do love myself right now, and I find it weird that I wasn't able to, you know, appreciate my own company more. So I want to just focus on doing things solely by myself, which I think I'm getting to that point, but I would like to be fully that next year. I would love to go to a cafe and not feel awkward about sitting by myself, or just going to a restaurant and eating by myself. Not like any of these things might happen next year, but just in general, you know, the concept of it. So then moving on to the next one, I think this kind of flows off of it. I did talk about how like sometimes I wouldn't talk to my friends for a while and I'd get lonely, but this one is for me to stop putting effort into relationships or friendships where the other person isn't putting any effort in return. I did talk about effort in my friendships video, which I made 2 videos back, so I'll link that above. You know, I think that effort can manifest itself in many ways, but I had some situations with some friends where I would be the one who initiates the effort, which is fine, but then when we talk, I'm not getting any energy in return, and it kind of make me a little bit sad because, you know, I thought that we were really close, and then I would question whether we were actually really close, or does this person like me? You know, I hate that, and I think that it's important for me to stop being the one who constantly reaches out, because really, if you've done it so many times, it just gets exhausting. The next one is something that I have struggled with the entirety of 2020, and I did make a video on this. It's my first Spilling the Chai episode, linking above, and it is to find some sort of purpose in an aspect of my life. And what I mean by this is that I think that this year has really taught me that I do need to have some kind of purpose in what I'm doing. Like, I need to find meaning behind it in some way, and especially for me, the reason why I started this YouTube channel is because, one, I actually wanted to start it for quite some time, but I never really found the courage. I decided, you know, let me start it because I really need a creative outlet. I really do, and that's what I feel like this YouTube channel gives me, some kind of purpose. Whether that purpose be in the form of my YouTube channel or in other activities, you know, in my day-to-day life, I would love to find some kind of purpose in it. The next one is to actually work out more frequently and commit to a solid 3 days of exercise per week. I actually tried like the later half of 2020. I actually got a gym membership and then I would go to all these classes with masks on. I think that this is doable 100%. Despite having a gym or not, I think working out is just such a mental health booster as well as a physical health booster, because one, for me, I do like feeling toned. I like feeling like I'm exercised. Not an adjective, but let's pretend that it is. It just makes you feel good to know that you're treating your body right. So that's something that I want to do more of. The fifth one, it's to be more present in what's going on in our current environment rather than so future oriented, which is very characteristic of how I act. I would like to get more comfortable in doing so and at a greater point, because let's face it, you know, we're all growing, we're all becoming better human beings over time. For example, I think that I'm very present when I'm talking to other people. I focus on the situation at hand. I'm not really checking my phone. I'm not thinking about the future, but when I'm by myself, I'm very much someone who thinks about the future. Especially during this pandemic, I just would dream of the different trips I would take once this whole thing is over. At the same time, we don't know when that's actually going to happen, and is that a realistic thing to think about? I'm not really sure about that, actually. I think it's important for me to just discover ways how I can cope and be comfortable with the current situation that I am in at this given moment in time. I am a dreamer, you know, I'm classic Enneagram type 7 wing 6. Let me know if you guys want to talk about personality tests at some point, because I love personality tests. I'm a classic 7 wing 6, so you know I'm all about those experiences, okay? And combined with my Sagittarius sun, yep, that's a very future-oriented person. It's good to dream, it's good to have ambitions, and it's good to think about the future. But when you're constantly thinking about the future and thinking about a time that really just doesn't exist right now, it can be really frustrating if you're not there. Those are my 5 New Year's resolutions, and I probably will build on this as I know more about the future. Some other ones I have are definitely dependent on what the situation is. For the time being, these are my 5 that I want to focus on, and I hope that this provides some inspiration for you guys to come up with your own New Year's resolutions. You don't know what's going to happen, but you know, growth is something that happens regardless of the situation that's happening right now. And I feel like these are all things that are very much in your control and that you hopefully could accomplish if you decide to pick up any of these too. If you have any suggestions on things that you would like to see from me, don't hesitate to leave them in the comments below, and I'll talk to you some other time, okay? Stay safe, have a great holiday season, and Happy New Year. Bye.